Everyone says they want to change. Everyone says they want to improve, build habits, become disciplined, stop procrastinating, live with purpose, achieve more. But what people say has nothing to do with what they do. Because wanting is not the same as being obsessed. And if you're not obsessed with your growth, then you're quietly tolerating your own mediocrity without even realizing it. This message isn't for the ones who want motivation. This message is for the ones who are tired of lying to themselves. For the ones who can't stand hearing, "I'll start tomorrow," while their entire life slips through their fingers, disguised as excuses that sound polite, reasonable, even intelligent. Discipline is not built with promises. It's built with hard decisions on the days you least want to make them. It's built with uncomfortable actions when no one is watching. It's built with self-respect when nobody demands it from you. And here's the truth no one wants to hear. Only when discipline becomes your obsession does everything in your life begin to fall into place. This video will not give you motivation. Motivation is cheap. Motivation fades. Motivation dies the moment life gets uncomfortable. No, this will show you what happens when you decide to become someone who follows through. Even when it hurts, even when it's exhausting, even when nobody claps for you. Because when discipline stops being a goal and becomes your identity, you don't need willpower anymore. You become unstoppable. Everyone wants results. Everyone wants a better life, more energy, more focus, more success. But when the moment to act arrives, most people hide behind lines like, "I don't have time. I'm not motivated. Maybe later. Maybe next week." But here's the reality. Discipline has a price, and that price must be paid every single day, in silence, without applause, without permission. Most people want the trophy, but not the training. They want the reward, but not the process. They want the result, but not the sacrifice required to earn it. But the people who truly transform, the ones who actually break through, they all have one thing in common. They stop negotiating with their own weakness. When you're obsessed with discipline, you don't give yourself options. You don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" You don't wait for Monday. You act, because you understand that discipline isn't punishment. It's order. It's direction. It's personal power. It is the fire that burns away everything unnecessary and prepares you for everything great. And here's the key. Discipline hurts, but not nearly as much as regret. The discomfort of discipline fades. The pain of a wasted life stays forever. If you're still waiting for the perfect moment, let me tell you something nobody told you. There is no perfect moment. There is only the decision, the commitment, the price. And you choose whether you pay it or you walk away from it. Because the one who refuses to pay the price today ends up paying the consequences tomorrow. Most people try to be disciplined. They start a week full of motivation. Write down a list of habits. Wake up early for a few days. And the moment fatigue or distraction shows up, they collapse back into the same patterns. Do you know why? Because they still see discipline as a task, as something external, as something they have to force themselves to do. But transformation only happens when discipline stops being an action and becomes an identity. You don't do disciplined things. You become a disciplined person. And when you become obsessed with this new identity, your decisions change. Your self-talk changes. Your tolerance for your own excuses disappears. You stop saying, "I'll try," and you start saying, "I follow through. I honor my word. I do what I said I would do, no matter how I feel." And that changes everything, because identity always directs behavior. If you see yourself as weak, lazy, inconsistent, you will keep acting exactly that way, even if you watch 1,000 videos or repeat affirmations every morning. But if you install a new internal narrative, if you see yourself as strong, consistent, determined, you will act in alignment with that identity. Your life changes the moment you change the way you see yourself. And that starts today. No more "I'll try." No more "let's see if I can." Now you say, "I am discipline. I am commitment. I am action." From that identity, no excuse can stop you. Every disciplined action is a brick. Every time you do the right thing when you don't feel like it, you place another piece in the construction of your strongest self. The problem is that people underestimate the power of the ordinary. They want extraordinary results with mediocre routines. They want new life with the same old habits. But here's the truth. Your daily routine is your future reality. Do you want to know what your life will look like in 6 months? Look at what you do every single day without being reminded. Do you get up when your alarm rings? Or do you hit snooze? Do you study when you said you would? Do you follow through even when no one is watching? That's where everything is forged. In the repetition silenciosa, in the actions nobody sees, in the consistency that eventually becomes impossible to break. And this is where obsession comes in. When you're truly obsessed with discipline, your routine is non-negotiable. It isn't something you try to do. It's simply who you are. Want to read more? You schedule it. Want to get in shape? You treat workouts like appointments with your future self. Want to build a project? You sit down and work on it, even when there are no results yet. Your life changes the moment you stop acting based on inspiration and start acting based on commitment. Discipline isn't doing a lot. It's doing the same things over and over until failure becomes impossible. You can have the clearest goals, the smartest plan, the best intentions. But if your mind is scattered, if your environment is loud, if your phone controls your focus, you're already defeated, not for lack of talent, but because of excess distraction. Discipline is built with focus, and focus dies with every notification you open, every useless video you consume, every conversation that drains your energy. We live in a world engineered to steal your attention. And if you don't take control, the world will gladly control you. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't scream. It doesn't push. It simply steals your minutes, your mind, your power, until one day you realize you're too drained to move forward. But the person obsessed with discipline doesn't allow it. They eliminate the unnecessary like a warrior going to war, because they are in a war against their lazy self, against their old identity, against everything that steals life from them. Do you control your environment? Or does your environment control you? Are you the owner of your voice? Or the slave of your excuses? Here on Napoleon Inspires, we don't talk about empty motivation. We build impenetrable minds, routines that destroy excuses, focus so sharp that distractions lose their power. And if you're hearing this right now, it's not an accident. You know it's time to take your power back. Start by cleaning your environment. Silence what doesn't add value. Close the door to noise. Create a space where you can work like a warrior. Because discipline is focus, and focus is mental protection. Discipline doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. It means you earn your joy. You enjoy after you've honored your commitment. You sow first. You harvest second. Most people try to reverse the order. They want to rest without effort, celebrate without work. And that is the fastest road to self-deception. When you're truly obsessed with discipline, you understand something powerful. The real reward isn't junk food after the gym. It isn't scrolling after studying. The real reward is looking in the mirror and saying, "Today I did exactly what I said I would do." That is priceless, because every time you keep your word, even when you're tired, even when no one sees it, you're building a type of inner strength that no one can give you except yourself. Self-respect. And that respect is felt. It shows in your energy, in your posture, in your presence. You don't need to shout that you're disciplined. People feel it. You don't live like a robot. You live like someone who understands purpose and is willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for lasting pride. Every sacrifice, every no to laziness, every yes to your commitments is transforming you. And Napoleon Inspires. We don't celebrate results. We celebrate character. Because true success isn't reaching a goal. It's becoming someone who never stops moving forward. Every great change begins in the mind. If you can't see it, you can't live it. Most people want results, but they never visualize what their life would look like if they already had them. They don't imagine their ideal routine, their ideal energy, their ideal self. But when you become obsessed with discipline, you start visualizing yourself following through, not as a dream, but as your inevitable identity. You see yourself getting up early with ease. You see yourself training with focus. You see yourself executing your routine with precision, even on your hardest days. And the clearer that image becomes, the more natural it becomes to behave in alignment with it. The mind doesn't distinguish between what is intensely imagined and what is physically lived. Visualization is not a game. It is deep reprogramming. If every day you see yourself as strong, consistent, unstoppable, you will start moving like that person. You will start acting like someone who has already won. Not magic. Identity. Focus. Sustained vision. Close your eyes and repeat. I am that person already. I am disciplined. I am focus. I am results. Repeat it until it becomes impossible not to live it. Because every day, you are fighting a war, not against the world, but against your lazy self. The self that wants to sleep 5 more minutes. The self that whispers, nothing happens if you skip today. The self that always finds elegant excuses to avoid doing what you promised yourself. But hear me, that self cannot win anymore. Because every time you surrender to it, you lose strength. And every time you defeat it, even with one small action, you become stronger. Discipline is a silent war. It's fought in the mind, in the early morning, when nobody applauds, when no one notices. And in that war, your shield is your commitment. Your sword is your daily action. And your victory is your transformed identity. You're not here for emotion. You're here because you're done living half alive. Because you realize the world owes you nothing. But you owe yourself everything. Today is one of those days where you decide whether you move forward or surrender again. So get up, breathe deep, and do what you promised. Not for the results, but out of respect for the person you're becoming. Do it until discipline stops being a goal and becomes your nature. Do it until your story becomes the reason someone else decides to rise too. And listen, before you leave this video, there's something you need to understand. You did not find this message by accident. You didn't stay until the end by coincidence. Your spirit brought you here. Your future brought you here. Your higher self brought you here. Because you're not supposed to walk this path alone. If this message shook something inside you, if it woke you up, if it reminded you of who you really are, then hear me clearly. This is your moment. This is your turning point. This is your new identity being born. But a new identity only survives when you surround yourself with the right environment. And that environment is right here. This is not just a channel. This is a movement, a training ground, a spiritual battlefield, a place where disciplined minds are forged and weak identities die. Every video here is designed to sharpen you, elevate you, wake up your power, and remind you of who you are becoming. So do not walk away and continue your day as if nothing happened. Your old self would do that, but you're not that person anymore. If you truly felt this message, if you truly want to rise, if you're done living half awake, subscribe right now, not later, not tomorrow, not when I remember. Now, while your spirit is awake. Now, while your identity is shifting. Now, before the world pulls you back into who you used to be. Hit that button and declare it. This is who I am now. I rise. I follow through. I am disciplined. Subscribe and join thousands around the world who are transforming their minds, their habits, their energy, and their destiny. This is your tribe, your forest, your mastermind, your spiritual home. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the identity. Welcome to Napoleon Inspires. Tap subscribe and let the journey begin.